Hi there. Thank you for joining me on the Passionative podcast, where we talk about following your passion, creativity, and doing what you love. This is your host Sagar Mehta, and today I'm looking at how to believe in yourself as you work on your passion, create things that are important to you, and stay true to your core values. I often wonder what makes us believe in something enough to sit down and create it, especially when people around us may not agree or nobody would appreciate the hard work that you're putting into bringing it into the real world. I find that belief is a weird state of mind. On one end, it needs the approval and appreciation from others to appear true to you. And on the other, it's a very personal emotion which comes from a deep place within you without needing any kind of external validation. And somewhere between these two extremes lies our confidence. A confidence in your art, in your passion, in your journey, in your work is the result of some voodoo magic between this internal belief in what you are creating and what the world thinks about what you are creating. Art or any passionate work is a very personal thing. It's an exercise in self discovery which lets you dig deep into your conscious and subconscious mind to bring out things that mean something to you. It isn't a stretch to say that what you create represents a very personal, emotional part of you, and no matter what people may think of it, it is valuable and important on its own. When you go down that rabbit hole of ideas, emotions, and feelings, what will come out is hard to guess before it actually does. So, how do you tackle that voice inside you that warns you against taking this journey? How can you quieten your inner critic that says you are no good, but if you look closely, is simply afraid that people might disapprove of what you are creating? Is there a way you can get validation before you create something? Can you hack your way to truly believing in yourself before the external validation from an audience helps you cement that belief? Doubt is crippling. It is possibly the number one reason why people don't do what they love. They aren't sure if they are good enough. They aren't sure if their work is good enough. They aren't sure if they can get good enough to begin with. When people say we are afraid of our own unlimited power, they are referring to this doubt, the doubt that we may be too awesome in our heads, but maybe we aren't in reality, and that people will be able to see this quite easily. So, how do you work around this, or rather, how do you work through this and get that belief in yourself that what you are doing matters and that the world will love it when it comes time? Start by being kind to yourself. The world is harsh as it is, and our journey to work on what we love is hard without our inner critic needing to tell us so. Be kind to yourself. It's pretty understandable to expect only the best from yourself, and the world out there doesn't like work that is subpar or incomplete, and it is easy to get lost in all the noise that it makes about what sucks and what doesn't. But even badly created work gets a lot of attention, sometimes undeservedly, and it makes you wonder if there is a way to create a perfectly bad work of art that can strike a chord with people. That initial bit of belief, that initial bit of determination to keep going, that initial bit of courage to keep on this road has to come from within you. And for that, you just need to understand, rather, tell yourself that you can do this. No matter how strange, weird, tough, or hard the journey and your message, you've taken on a challenge that very few people have the willpower or courage to take on, and that in itself deserves recognition. Start with some applause for yourself each day. I think we can all change the world as long as we can find the strength to work towards it bit by bit each day. By seeing your journey as being bigger than yourself, by looking at your art as something you are giving back to the world, to society, by seeing yourself to be a part of this special group of people who take upon themselves to create something meaningful, you can build the belief that what you are doing is more important than it seems. And just because it is difficult doesn't mean you should beat yourself about it. Patience with yourself is important no matter what stage of the creative process you are in. Maybe you cannot even draw a straight line with your pen yet. Maybe it's hard for you to put 100 words on paper each day, let alone 1000. Maybe you sing so out of tune, you want to hide yourself in a closet and never come out. Maybe your fingers never seem to find where the next damn key on the piano is. Let it be. Give yourself time. Don't let that reluctance to not do something because maybe you aren't good enough win. Your inner critic will be an ally when your work is ready for prime time, but before that, it's your worst enemy. The way to fight it is to ask it to wait as you discover new things about yourself and your skills and the limits of what you can do. You will always be able to dive deep as long as you can commit to taking the leap to dive each day. And you can make that dive easier by using the second step. Determine your values first. Doubt often comes in because we lose sight of why we started doing something. Belief in your work simply means believing in your vision, your goals, and your dreams. And all of these change as we go along, but while you're working on perfecting your skills at your craft, you're going to run into different situations where doubt will hit you like a freight train without brakes. This is where your core values will help keep you grounded and committed. But what are these core values and how do you find them? It's a simple two-step process that you can use anytime. There are a couple of questions that you can ask yourself when you're working on your stuff to make sure you're staying on the track that aligns with your values. First, what vision are you starting with? What's your reason for doing what you're doing? Is it to find happiness or meaning or just to see what happens? Is it to give something you used to love an honest shot? When you try to answer those questions, you will get a clearer picture of your why. Your reason for doing what you love is at the core of all your efforts. This would be different for different people. Maybe you want to share a particular message with the world, or maybe you want to have your voice heard, or maybe you want to help other people get their voices heard. We often have a lot of different dreams and goals, but thinking about your core vision in this way will help you distill your true mission from all the noise around it. Then, once you've figured that out, simply ask yourself if you are staying true to your core values. When we are working on something that is close to us, too many distractions get in the way. If you were a writer, you will look at articles or books that were getting a lot of traction on the internet and dream about writing those kind of books or articles. Or you will find some kind of art getting too popular on the interwebs and your mind would want to work on that first and so on. If you're doing that as a challenge to see if you can work within those constraints, it's a good mental exercise. But if you're simply changing your core message to fit in with what supposedly works on a massive scale, then you're not being honest in your work and it will start to show. People notice when someone is being inauthentic. Fake it till you make it is a cool mantra to live by, but when it comes to your life's work, it is your unique voice in a sea of voices that will help you get your core fans. Sure, you may not be creating work that gets exposure on national TV, but it is better to find people who identify with your work and get your message rather than your work going viral with the wrong audience. That can only happen if you stay true to your core belief. This is going to be hard because we like to see other people's success and compare with our own. But the truth is, the harder we stick to our guns, the longer we last, and the better our chances at getting our personal bit of success. Third, and I think this is the most important one, build it and ship it. Ship something, ship anything. If you had an idea for the best product in the world but it was never shipped, then that is worth as much as the worst product in the world. And by the way, if the worst product in the world has been shipped, it is better than your best product of the world. A lot of times we get stuck trying to make something perfect. Our inner critic makes us polish our work and then polish it some more. The perfect article, the perfect song, the perfect painting, the perfect piece of code does not exist. If it is perfect, it will not be talked about. You need the flaws to make something matter. From the Great Wall of China to the Mona Lisa, the best art, the best work, the most talked about things on the planet are imperfect in one way or another. Create something imperfect and release it into the world. If it means something to you, it will mean something to someone else. Sure, your initial bit of work may suck, or most of what you release may never get good reviews. But when you release something, you can finally move on to working on your next piece of work. If it helps, work from an assumption that it already sucks. That way, the pressure of making it amazing is not on you. If it is amazing, people will let you know and they will fight to convince you that it does not suck. Your role in the process is to create and then just let people play with it, understand it, and interpret what it means to them. And yes, it's possible they will completely miss your message. It is possible they will get most of it. It's possible they will get some of it. It is possible they will simply ignore it altogether. As long as you keep creating, as long as you keep letting people know you've created something, your journey will continue, and that is all that matters. Believe in yourself. The world wants you to. Your passion needs you to. I hope this helps you believe in yourself and your work. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Passionative podcast. I'm always happy to hear from you about your passion, your struggles, and your challenges. Simply go to Passionative.co and let's get talking. This is your host Sagar Mehta signing off. Stay awesome.